Before we move ahead, let us try to understand the Union Parliament. The Parliament of India यानी भारतीय संसद, it is the supreme legislative body of the Republic of India. It means that it has the full power, the parliament has the full power to make and change the law of the country. इस कंट्री के लॉज बनाना है या उसको अमेंड करना है या चेंज करना है, तो ये सारा का सारा पावर जो है वो पार्लियामेंट के हाथ में होता है. हेंस द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज कॉल्ड द सुप्रीम लेजिस्लेटिव बॉडी ऑफ द रिपब्लिक ऑफ इंडिया. प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. यहाँ पर बहुत सारे बच्चे मार्क्स लूज करते हैं. पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया is bicameral in nature, which is composed of president on one hand and two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha on the other hand. I repeat once again, Parliament of India can be said to be composed of two parts, president on one side and two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha on the other side. When you solve your question bank or worksheet, you will see question related to this. Please pay more attention on these question. ये question एग्जामिनेशन के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है. दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम योर एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. व्हाट इज अ पार्लियामेंट? पार्लियामेंट is a body of people's representative who has a supreme power of governance in a democratic country. What do we mean by this? क्या मतलब होता है इसका? तो पार्लियामेंट ये पीपल्स रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, पीपल ने इलेक्ट किए हुए रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है और इनको हमने पावर दिया to govern in this democratic country in a democratic way. तो वो इस कंट्री को चला सकते हैं as per the constitution of a country. So let us continue with the Lok Sabha, which is called the House of the People. Why House of the People? Because elections are conducted and the citizen of India vote for their candidates. This candidate, when they win the election, they are sent to the parliament. And what is their work in the parliament? To make the laws and to change the laws wherever necessary. Now how candidates are elected for the Lok Sabha, the House of People? The candidate are elected for the Lok Sabha directly through universal adult franchise, through secret ballot. Here you have to understand three parts. First part is they are elected directly. Directly means citizens of India directly vote for their favorite candidate. Universal adult franchise means all the citizens who have completed 18 years of their age, those who are adult, they have a right to vote for their favorite candidates. And through secret ballot. Secret ballot means there is a box whereby that particular citizen will go and they will vote and nobody else will know to which candidate he has casted his vote. तो वोट किसको दिया वो पता नहीं, इसलिए इसको सीक्रेट बैलेट कहा जाता है. यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज यानी जो सिटीजन्स का एज 18 और अबव है वही अपने कैंडिडेट को वोट कर सकता है. एंड डायरेक्टली मीन्स डायरेक्टली जो आपका फेवरेट कैंडिडेट होगा उसको आप अपना वोट दे सकते हैं. सो दिस इज द मैनर इन विच candidate is elected to the Lok Sabha, and Lok Sabha is the people's house. People's house या house of people इसलिए क्योंकि लोग directly अपने candidate को vote करते हैं. Same is not the case with the Rajya Sabha. We will see that later on. Now let us see what is the tenure of the Lok Sabha. Tenure means टाइम पीरियड. अगर कोई मेंबर लोकसभा में इलेक्ट हो जाता है तो वो कितने साल तक मेंबर होता है लोकसभा का. जनरली टेन्योर ऑफ द लोकसभा इज 5 years. क्या ये टेन्योर कैन बी मोर देन 5 years? क्या ये टेन्योर बी लेस देन 5 years? तो आंसर इज यस। लोकसभा का टेन्योर 5 ईयर से कम या 5 ईयर से ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है। इट कैन बी लेस देन 5 years if president dissolve the Lok Sabha on the advice of the prime minister, and this has happened in 4th Lok Sabha. Now can tenure be more than 5 years? तो answer is again yes. In case of emergency, if there is emergency in India, then tenure of a Lok Sabha can be more than 5 years, and this has happened twice in 5th Lok Sabha. Now let us try to understand the composition of Lok Sabha. अगर आप लोग पुराना टेक्स्ट बुक यूज कर रहे हैं, if you are using old version of your history civics textbook, then there is a change in this पार्ट। अगर आप लोग पुराना वाला कंपोजिशन लिखेंगे तो आपको रॉन्ग मिलेगा, यू विल गेट 0 मार्क्स। Please make this change if you are using your old textbook, and if your textbook is latest new published for 2023 तो change करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, it is already given there. Now maximum number of representative in Lok Sabha is 550. You can see on your screen it is 550. पुराने टेक्स्ट बुक में, इन ओल्ड टेक्स्ट बुक इट इज गिवन एज 552। ये 2 मेंबर वाला रूल जो है, 2 एंग्लो इंडियंस, ये वाला रूल चेंज हो चुका है। ओके, सो मैक्सिमम स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द लोकसभा इज 550 मेंबर्स। Out of this 550 members, 530 members are directly elected through universal adult franchise, through secret ballot, and they are elected as per the population of that particular region. You can see that for Lok Sabha from Uttar Pradesh, number of representative elected are 80. From Maharashtra, it is 48. From Goa, Manipur, Meghalaya, 2 representative each. Mizoram, Nagaland and Sikkim, 1 candidate or 1 representative each. And from Union Territory, that is Delhi, 7 representatives are elected for the Lok Sabha. And in total, 20 members represent Union Territories, out of which 7 are from Delhi. According to the 104th Amendment Act passed in January 2020, the representation of 2 Anglo-Indians nominated by the president has been cancelled. So these 2 representatives from the Anglo-Indian community which were earlier nominated by the president is no more done. So instead of 552 members which were elected to Lok Sabha, now only 550 members are elected. 530 from the various states and 20 members from the Union Territories, and 2 more Anglo-Indians which were earlier represented by President of India is no more done. To sum up, the total strength or the maximum strength of the Lok Sabha is 550 members, out of which 530 are elected from various states of India, and remaining 20 are elected from the Union Territories, and 2 Anglo-Indian members which were earlier nominated by President of India, they are no more elected as per 104th Constitutional Amendment Act. Let us move on to next part, that is qualification. I love this part. मुझे ये part बहुत अच्छा लगता है. It is this part जिसकी वजह से बच्चों लोगों को civics paper में 0 नहीं मिलता है. Whether you want to become a member of Lok Sabha और राज्यसभा और प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया और प्राइम मिनिस्टर और जज और एनी अदर पोस्ट एक रिक्वायरमेंट होता है, दैट इज ही और शी मस्ट बी अ सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया। राइट दिस पॉइंट एंड यू विल गेट 1 मार्क। तो यही वो पॉइंट है जिसके वजह से एग्जाम में 0 नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि एक क्वेश्चन एटलीस्ट आता है रिलेटेड टू क्वालिफिकेशन। सो फॉर क्वालिफिकेशन to become a member of Lok Sabha, requirement is he or she must be a citizen of India. Teachers are also smarter, तो वो क्या करते हैं, they ask a question in this way: write a qualification required for becoming a member of Lok Sabha other than बीइंग अ सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया। तो सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया ये वाला छोड़कर कोई भी पॉइंट जो है वो लिखना। ओके, दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड बाय अ टीचर इन योर एग्जामिनेशन। ओके, सो लेट अस कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन द क्वालिफिकेशन टू बिकम अ मेंबर ऑफ लोक सभा। तो क्वालिफिकेशन नंबर 1, ही मस्ट बी सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया, वेरी इजी, very important. Then second one, he or she must be at least 25 years of age. Qualification number 3 is उसका इलेक्शन वाले लिस्ट में नाम कहीं ना कहीं दर्ज होना चाहिए in any part of a country. He or she should be enrolled in the electoral list in any part of a country. तो अगर आपका इलेक्शन वाले लिस्ट में नाम है, आपके पास इलेक्शन का कार्ड है, तो यू कैन बिकम अ मेंबर ऑफ लोकसभा। बट आपके लिए लोकसभा का इलेक्शन जीतना भी ज़रूरी है। नेक्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट दैट पर्सन शुड नॉट बी एंड इंसॉल्वेंट, मतलब वो कर्जे में डूबा हुआ नहीं होना चाहिए, उसके ऊपर लोन नहीं होना चाहिए। अदरवाइज a person with heavy loan on him will try to get rid of that loan by maybe unfair mean. Hence this qualification is essential to become a member of Lok Sabha, that is the person should not be a declared insolvent. Next qualification is that he or she should not hold any post of profit in a government institution, यानी कि वो गवर्नमेंट का कोई भी जॉब उसके पास नहीं होना चाहिए। इफ़ ही इज़ अ से पुलिस इंस्पेक्टर or maybe working in government office, so that person cannot become a member of Lok Sabha. उसका जॉब कोई किसी भी गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस में नहीं होना चाहिए। नेक्स्ट क्वालिफिकेशन इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट इज द मेंबर ऑफ द लोक सभा और द पर्सन शुड नॉट बी अ प्रोक्लेम्ड क्रिमिनल। इसका मतलब ये होता है कि वो पर्सन क्रिमिनल नहीं होना चाहिए, उसको कोर्ट ने क्रिमिनल नहीं डिक्लेयर करना चाहिए और वो जेल से सज़ा काट कर उसके क्राइम के लिए नहीं आना होना चाहिए। अगर कोर्ट ने उसको सज़ा दी है किसी क्राइम के लिए और वो सज़ा काट कर आ चुका है, सो ही इज़ नॉट क्वालिफाइड टू बिकम अ मेंबर ऑफ द लोक सभा एंड ही और शी शुड नॉट बी ऑफ एन अनसाउंड माइंड। वेरी इजी, उसका स्क्रू जो है वो ढीला नहीं होना चाहिए, वो सटकेला नहीं होना चाहिए। आई होप यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस पॉइंट। यस माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ वी नीड टू टेक अ फ्रेश लुक एट दिस चैप्टर। यहाँ से आगे हम लोग जो पढ़ने वाले हैं, दोज आर ऑल टेक्निकल थिंग्स and along with that is also important for your examination. तो जरा ध्यान से अगले वाले पार्ट को सुनना और समझना। The next part which we are going to study is called the session. To understand the meaning of the session, first we need to understand the function of the parliament. तो पार्लियामेंट का फंक्शन क्या होता है, व्हाट ड्यूटी दे नीड टू परफॉर्म, तो उनको बनाने पड़ते हैं लॉज। दे आर लेजिस्लेटिव बॉडी ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट, उनको लॉ बनाने का है। तो कैसे बनाएंगे वो लॉ, कि अपने घर पर बैठकर वो लॉ बना सकते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली नॉट। उनको जैसे आपके डैडी या मम्मी रोज उठकर ऑफिस जाते होंगे या अपने बिजनेस को अटेंड करते होंगे, शॉप पर जाते होंगे और वॉट एवर, वैसे ही ये इलेक्टेड मेंबर्स एमपीज जो होते हैं, मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्स, उनको भी सेशंस को अटेंड करना पड़ता है। जैसे आपके स्कूल में आपका अटेंडेंस लिया जाता है, रिकॉर्ड रखा जाता है कि हाउ मेनी डेज यू हैव अटेंडेड एंड हाउ मेनी डेज यू आर एब्सेंट, इन सेम मैनर दीज एमपीज, उनका भी अटेंडेंस लिया जाता है। इट इज कैलकुलेटेड हाउ मेनी डेज दे आर प्रेजेंट एंड हाउ मेनी डेज दे आर एब्सेंट। तो एक इलेक्टेड मेंबर की अच्छी क्वालिटी में से ये क्वालिटी मानी जाती है कि उसने सेशंस को प्रॉपरली अटेंड किया गया है। सो वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट द function or the responsibility of the parliament. So function is to legislate, यानी लॉ बनाना। तो लॉ बनाने के लिए they visit the parliament, they attend the session. So session is a period when members of parliament meet, pass the bill and discuss the affairs of the state. Do you know that generally the members of the parliament meet thrice the year and the gap between the two sessions cannot be more than 6 months. The 3 sessions which I was talking about, which are held every year, are as follows. The budget session, which is conducted between the month of February to May. Then comes the monsoon session, which is between the month of July and August. And the last, the winter session, it is conducted between the month of November December. Anyway, this is not a rigid timetable. This timetable may be changed or modified as required. And please keep in mind that the president has a discretionary power. It is into his hand that he may call any session, extra session, as and when required. Next topic is quorum. It is very important from your examination point of view. Look at the previous year question papers or the prelim papers of different school. You will find this question in every question paper. So please concentrate on this question. It is important and easy as well. Now what is quorum? This quorum term is related to the attendance. For a session to be conducted, just now we have studied about the session, for the work or the business of the house to be conducted, we require a minimum number of attendants. The minimum number of members of the parliament required to conduct the proceeding in the house, this number is called a quorum, and this quorum is 1/10 the total number of members of the house. You can see in this picture that in Lok Sabha there is no quorum. All the seats or most of the seats are empty. Here we don't have 1/10 of the attendance. So speaker can adjourn, that is he can give extra time to this session, or else he even has a power to suspend the proceeding of this session for the entire day. Yes, it is same like on any rainy day. In your school, the number of students who are attending the school is very less. So what school will do? School will declare a holiday on that particular rainy day. It is same like that. The next parliamentary procedure which we are going to learn is called the question hour. You can see on your screen that every day or every working day of a parliament is reserved for asking a question. इसका मतलब parliament start functioning at 11 a.m. So between 11 a.m. to 12 noon, this 1 hour is reserved for asking a question, and this 1 hour is called the question hour. And every member of parliament have a right to ask a question. This right to ask a question is called interpellation. Please remember this word and this definition properly. It is very important from your examination point of view. Speaker is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. तो इस क्वेश्चन आवर में अगर कुछ मॉडिफिकेशन करना है, if at all there is a modification required in a question hour to reduce a time of a question hour or to increase a time of a question hour or to altogether cancel the question hour, this right is given only to the speaker of the Lok Sabha. Otherwise, first hour of every working day or first hour of a business of a Lok Sabha is reserved as a question hour. Can any member of parliament stand up randomly and ask a question in the house? So my dear student, answer is no. Every MP who seek answer to his question has to submit his or her question 10 days in advance to the speaker of लोक सभा. तो कोई भी एमपी रैंडमली उठकर क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछ सकता है, उसको एडवांस में 10 दिन पहले ही अपना क्वेश्चन जो है स्पीकर को सबमिट करना पड़ता है. And then this speaker will pass on the question to the concerned office or the concerned department. And very important, the right to ask a question is called interpellation. I hope you have understood. आप सब लोगों को समझ में आया है कि what is question hour. Now that we have understood the question hour, we will try to understand the three types of questions. First type of question is called the starred question. That question which has a star mark, or to be very precise, asterisk mark on it. The member of parliament who is asking a starred question, that question has to be answered orally on the floor of the house, and there is a possibility कि that question can be followed by the another question related to the answer, which is called the supplementary question. I hope you are understanding this. There is a kind of question, एक टाइप का क्वेश्चन होता है स्टार्ड क्वेश्चन, जिसके ऊपर एस्ट्रिक मार्क लगा हुआ होता है. एक एमपी वो क्वेश्चन पूछेगा तो उसको ये एक्सपेक्टेड होता है कि उसका आंसर उसको ओरली या मौखिक रूप में मिले, और उस क्वेश्चन उस आंसर के ऊपर अगर कोई नया क्वेश्चन रेज होता है, उस क्वेश्चन को कहते हैं सप्लीमेंट्री क्वेश्चन. सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज द अनस्टार्ड क्वेश्चन. उस पर ये एस्ट्रिक मार्क नहीं लगा होता है. When a MP asked unstarred question, he will get the answer to his question in the written form. That is, एमपी ने अगर अनस्टार्ड क्वेश्चन पूछा तो उसका आंसर उसको लिखित स्वरूप में मिलेगा. And unstarred question cannot be followed by a supplementary question. Third type of question is a short notice question. There can be certain question which require an urgent answer. That can be a question of urgent importance. So member of a parliament can ask this short notice question, and the MP who is asking this question may get a quick response to his question. But it depends upon the concerned minister or the minister who is going to answer the question, whether he can give answer in a short notice period, which means that कोई एमपी शॉर्ट नोटिस क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता है जिसका आंसर उसको जल्द ही एक्सपेक्टेड है, बट जो कंसर्न मिनिस्टर होता है यानी आंसर देने वाला मिनिस्टर होता है, वो डिसाइड करेगा कि उसको इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर शॉर्ट नोटिस में देना है, जल्दी देना है, कि उसको इस आंसर देने के लिए 10 डेज का प्रायर नोटिस चाहिए. आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड all these three types of questions. First question is starred questions. Second type of question is the unstarred questions, and the last one is the short notice questions. You can have another look at the timetable from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. This period is called the question hour. Now next 1 hour, 12 noon to 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. they have a lunch break. So 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, this 1 hour in which member of parliament can ask any type of question without a prior notice or any information or a special permission. This hour is called a zero hour. तो पार्लियामेंट्री प्रोसीजर में इस बात का भी ध्यान रखा गया है कि मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट किसी भी टाइप का क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता है विदाउट एनी प्रायर नोटिस, लेकिन ये उसको करना पड़ता है ड्यूरिंग जीरो आवर. वन एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, that is all the questions and the answers has to be addressed to the speaker of the Lok Sabha. Otherwise what will happen, ये दोनों MPs, एक क्वेश्चन पूछने वाला और एक आंसर देने वाला आपस में ही लड़ते रहेंगे. So what happens is that क्वेश्चन पूछने वाला अपना क्वेश्चन पूछता है स्पीकर को, क्वेश्चन इज एड्रेस टू द स्पीकर, एंड आंसर देने वाला MP ये भी आंसर देता है या एड्रेस करता है स्पीकर को, सो दैट देयर इज नो डायरेक्ट कन्फ्रंटेशन बिटवीन दी टू मेंबर्स ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट. आई ना बात आपको समझ में कि क्वेश्चन पूछने वाला स्पीकर को पूछेगा या स्पीकर को एड्रेस करेगा, आंसर देने वाला भी स्पीकर को एड्रेस करेगा. हम लोग बहुत बार टीवी पर लोकसभा इस चैनल पर देखते हैं कि दो मेंबर ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट आपस में ही लड़ना शुरू करते हैं. टू अवॉइड दिस सिचुएशन ये मेथड डिवाइस किया है कि क्वेश्चन एज वेल एज आंसर हैज टू बी एड्रेस to the speaker of the Lok Sabha, who is the presiding officer of the house. Next and very important type of parliamentary procedure which generally happens between 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. is called the motion. There are various types of motions in the house, but हमारे syllabus में as per the syllabus we have to study only two kinds of motion. One is the adjournment motion and another one is the no confidence motion. First let us try to understand the definition or the meaning of the motion. Motion is a formal proposal which is put forward by any MP to draw the attention of a government on a particular matter which is of public interest. To simplify this, I can say that motion जो होता है वो एक पार्लियामेंट्री प्रोसीजर होता है जिससे कि कोई भी मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट पूरे गवर्नमेंट का, पूरे काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर का ध्यान एक पर्टिकुलर चीज़ पर आकर्षित कर सकता है या वो बोल सकता है पूरे काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर को कि इस चीज़ पर ध्यान दे, क्योंकि ये चीज़ जो है वो हमारे देश के लिए और देश के लोगों के लिए बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. एंड एज पर अ टाइम टेबल अ मोशन कैन बी मूव्ड बिटवीन 2 PM टू 6 PM. तो लंच ब्रेक के बाद में जब पार्लियामेंट्री प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट होंगे तो मोशन कैन बी मूव्ड बिटवीन 2 PM टू 6 PM. आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस. लेट अस ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन. क्या होता है एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन? So speaker already have decided a timetable for a day. But what has happened? Something untoward has happened. Maybe a earthquake or a railway accident or a collapse of a bridge. Means कुछ हो गया है हमारे देश में, कुछ हो गया है, जैसे कि भूकंप का आना या कहीं पर फ्लड आ गया है, बाढ़ आ गई है, या ब्रिज का कोलैप्स हो जाना या रेलवे एक्सीडेंट. इन दिस कंडीशन अ स्पेशल मोशन कैन बी पास्ड विच इज कॉल्ड द एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन. टू पास द एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन इन द हाउस it has to be presented by a member of parliament and it should be supported by at least 50 members of the parliament. Then the pre-decided timetable or a business is kept aside. पहले से ही तय किया गया कामकाज जो है उसको रोक कर, उसको बाजू में रख कर, दिस न्यू डेफिनेट मैटर ऑफ अर्जेंट इंपॉर्टेंस इज टेकन अप फॉर अ डिस्कशन. दिस इज कॉल्ड द एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन. लेट मी सिंप्लीफाई दिस. हमको ये पहले से ही पता है कि वर्किंग ऑफ द हाउस का कामकाज उसका टाइम टेबल पहले से ही सेट होता है और उसी टाइम टेबल से हमारा पार्लियामेंट पार्लियामेंट फंक्शन कर रहा है, वर्क कर रहा है, बट देश में अचानक से कुछ आपदा आ गई है, जैसे कि फ्लड या अर्थक्वेक या फिर रेलवे एक्सीडेंट या कोई ब्रिज का कोलैप्स हो जाना या इत्यादि और कोई प्रॉब्लम आ गया है, तो कोई एमपी जो है वो अर्जेंट मोशन को प्रेजेंट करता है और उस अर्जेंट मोशन को एटलीस्ट 50 यानी कि 50 मेंबर्स का अगर समर्थन मिल जाता है, सपोर्ट मिल जाता है, तो रेगुलर हाउस का कामकाज बाजू में रखकर ये नया डेफिनेट मैटर जो है विच इज़ ऑफ पब्लिक इम्पोर्टेंस, ये पब्लिक के लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, ये मैटर को लेने के लिए जिस प्रोसीजर को मूव किया जाता है या पास किया जाता है उस प्रोसीजर को कहते हैं एडजॉर्नमेंट मोशन. I hope you are understanding this and enjoying as well. Second type of motion in our syllabus is very important type of motion which is called the no confidence motion. Prime Minister is running his government with the help of the Council of Ministers and the other ministers. और अगर member of parliaments को ऐसा लगता है कि वो खुश नहीं है विद द वर्किंग ऑफ द प्राइम मिनिस्टर एंड हिज काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर, तो उस काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर को हटाने के लिए एक स्पेशल काइंड ऑफ मोशन मूव किया जाता है विच इज कॉल्ड द नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन. This no confidence motion is passed against the Council of Minister. Through this motion, Lok Sabha expressed the lack of confidence in the ministry, and just like the adjournment motion, this motion also require the support of at least 50 members. If this motion is passed by the member of the parliament और स्पेशली बाय द ऑपोजिशन पार्टी, तो जो काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स है दे नीड टू रिजाइन, यानी कि ऑपोजिशन पार्टी की जीत हो गई है, तो जो मिनिस्टर है उसके ऊपर कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है हाउस का, सो ही हैज टू रिजाइन. नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन इज ऑल गेम ऑफ नंबर्स. We know that ruling party is that party which enjoy the support of more than 50% of the members. लेकिन रूलिंग पार्टी ने या मिनिस्टर ने कोई डिसीजन ले लिया जो जिससे कि बाकी मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट दे आर नॉट हैप्पी, देन दे कैन मूव नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन अगेंस्ट दैट गवर्नमेंट. तो गवर्नमेंट को अब ये साबित करना पड़ता है, दे हैव टू प्रूव दैट दे हैव अ सपोर्ट, स्टिल दे एंजॉय द सपोर्ट ऑफ मोर देन 50% ऑफ द इलेक्टेड मेंबर्स of the house or the member of parliaments. और अगर उनको ये साबित करने नहीं आया कि उनके पास मोर देन 50% ऑफ मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट का सपोर्ट है, देन दिस काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर हैव टू रिजाइन एंड दिस कैन बी डन थ्रू अ नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन. So no confidence motion is very important proceeding in the working of the parliament, and opposite or the antonym of the no confidence motion is the confidence motion. Opposition party moves the no confidence motion and ruling party moves the confidence motion, right? Very important. Let's take up the new topic, that is the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Any idea who is the current Speaker of Lok Sabha? Yes, you are right, Mr. Om Birla. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha is the presiding officer of the House. He is responsible for the smooth working of the Lok Sabha, and the entire responsibility of conducting the business in the House is on the shoulders of the Speaker. Now let us discuss how Speaker of Lok Sabha is elected. We know that there are 550 members who are elected to the Lok Sabha. One out of these 550 members is elected as the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. He is elected from among the elected members of the Lok Sabha. तो लोक सभा में जो 550 मेंबर्स इलेक्ट हो चुके हैं उसमें से ही एक को स्पीकर बनाया जाएगा। लेट अस कंसीडर दैट लोकसभा इज डिसॉल्व्ड either by completing its tenure of 5 years or opposition have successfully moved no confidence motion. So now situation is that Lok Sabha is dissolved. So member of parliament are no more the member of parliaments. New members of parliament will be elected after the fresh election. But this is not the case with the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Speaker of the Lok Sabha will be still in the power or in the office till new speaker is appointed. To simplify this, I can say that जो स्पीकर ऑफ लोकसभा है वो जो है लोकसभा के डिसॉल्व होने के बावजूद भी बाकी के मेंबर्स का रेजिग्नेशन देने के बावजूद भी वो स्पीकर होगा लोकसभा का टिल न्यू स्पीकर इज अपॉइंटेड। फ्रेश इलेक्शन होने के बाद में नए 552 मेंबर्स पार्लियामेंट में आएंगे और उसमें से एक नया स्पीकर चूज किया जाएगा। तब तक हमारा पुराना स्पीकर जो है वो उस चेयर के ऊपर बैठा रहेगा, वो उस ऑफिस के पावर्स को एंजॉय करेगा। Hence, it can be rightly said that the tenure of a speaker of Lok Sabha is of 5 years. क्या 5 years से पहले स्पीकर अपना रेजिग्नेशन दे सकता है? तो आंसर इज yes. Speaker can give a resignation before completing his or her tenure of 5 years to the deputy speaker on the ground of health और एनी अदर पर्सनल इश्यूज। अगर पार्लियामेंट को स्पीकर को उसके पद से हटाना है, इफ पार्लियामेंट वांट टू रिमूव अ स्पीकर फ्रॉम हिज ऑफिस, दिस कैन बी डन बाय पासिंग अ रेजोल्यूशन by the majority of members of the parliament. Now let us concentrate on the functions of the speaker. I have repeated this several times that speaker is the presiding officer of the business which is conducted in the house. That means that he presides over the meeting conducted in the Lok Sabha. All the speeches and remarks which are made, they are addressed to the speaker of the Lok Sabha. He also performs the important function of allocating time for the discussion. Speaker of the Lok Sabha perform a similar function as that of a umpire in a cricket match or a referee in other game. His decision is final and also the interpretation of the law. In fact, the correct interpretation of the law or the constitution for the proceeding of the Lok Sabha is done by the speaker. Our constitution has laid down certain rules and regulation for the conduction of the Lok Sabha. Now speaker is responsible to make sure that all the proceedings in the house is as per the rules and regulation laid down for the house by the constitution. Whatever bills are passed in Lok Sabha, they are either sent to the Rajya Sabha or to the President of India for his approval or assent. But those bills can be sent to the Rajya Sabha or to the President of India only after that bill is signed by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. On a certain issue, if voting is required, so voting is conducted by the Speaker and also the result is announced by him. Speaker of a Lok Sabha never cast his own vote. He can cast his own vote only when there is a case of tie. That is when both the parties have a support of equal number of members. So a speaker of a Lok Sabha can cast his vote on one side, so one side can come into majority. Otherwise, speaker will never cast his own vote. We have to understand that money bill is a very important bill in the house, and it is a speaker who decides whether this bill is a money bill or not. Administrative function is the next important function performed by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. This function is related to the paperwork which is done in the Lok Sabha. Speaker receives all the documents and petitions in the house. Earlier we have studied about question hour, zero hour and various kind of questions which are asked in the parliament. All these questions are written on the paper, and this documentation and other petitions are submitted to the speaker. It is a function of a speaker to pass on these documents to the concerned authority. Also, whatever decision is taken by Lok Sabha is passed on to the concerned authority by the speaker only. Do you know that even a common people like us can visit and see the proceedings going on in the Lok Sabha? Thus, visitors and press or media correspondent can visit the gallery of the house. They can sit there and see the proceedings going on in the house. The admission to the gallery of the house is regulated by the speaker only. क्या आप इस गैलरी में जाना पसंद करेंगे जहां बैठकर आप लोकसभा में जो कामकाज हो रहा है उसको देखें, उसको समझे? अगर हाँ तो उसके लिए आपको एक पास लेना पड़ेगा जो आपको मिलेगा स्पीकर ऑफ लोकसभा द्वारा. नेक्स्ट इज द डिसिप्लिनरी फंक्शंस ऑफ द स्पीकर ऑफ द लोकसभा. वी हैव सीन सो मेनी टाइम these members of the parliament, they behave violently in the house. The entire scene look like a scene from a fish market. Speaker of the Lok Sabha is given a responsibility to maintain discipline in the house. If a member of Lok Sabha become unruly or violent, he may ask him or her to withdraw. In case of grave disorder in house, speaker can adjourn the house for few hours or for the entire day. You must know that whatever is said in the parliament, that is recorded in a minute book, a specially designed book which records the proceeding of the parliament. If a member uses foul language or unparliamentary or undecent word, speaker can ask to exclude that word, to remove that word from being recorded in a minute book. Many a time we see that member of parliament switch the party to which he belong. Let us say that वो पार्टी ए छोड़कर पार्टी बी को ज्वाइन कर लेता है. अंडर सच कंडीशन स्पीकर हैज अ पावर to disqualify his membership under the anti-defection law. So this anti-defection law has become very important nowadays. You must know that attached to Lok Sabha there are many parliamentary committees. Some of these committees are General Purposes Committee, Business Advisory Committee and the Rules Committee. Speaker of the Lok Sabha is the ex officio chairman of some of these committees. इसका मतलब ये होता है कि जो पर्सन स्पीकर ऑफ लोकसभा बनेगा वो लोकसभा से जो अटैच कमिटीज है उनमें से कुछ कमिटीज का अपने आप चेयरमैन बनेगा. It means that a person who is appointed as a speaker of Lok Sabha, he will become a chairman of some of the committees which are attached to the Lok Sabha. तो स्पीकर लोकसभा से अटैच जो काफ़ी सारी कमिटियां हैं उसमें से कुछ कमिटी का चेयरमैन बनेगा. बाकी जो कमिटियां हैं जिनका चेयरमैन स्पीकर नहीं है उन कमिटियों के चेयरमैन को स्पीकर ही अपॉइंट करेगा. एक्स ऑफिशियो चेयरमैन मीन्स if you are appointed as a chairman to one seat, you by default become a chairman of the other seat. So speaker is chairman to some of the committees which are attached to the Lok Sabhas, and the other committees to which speaker is not a chairman, he will appoint the chairman to those committees. Not only that कि he appoints the chairman to the committees, he also guides them, direct them. He also makes sure that appointed chairman follow the procedures as per the Constitution of India. Finally, miscellaneous functions of the Speaker of Lok Sabha. In some matter, a joint session of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is conducted. In this joint session of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Speaker will be the presiding officer. Parliamentary delegations are regularly sent to the various countries. Speaker of the Lok Sabha, in consultation with the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, nominates the personnel for this parliamentary delegation to the various countries. In case of conference of presiding officers of the legislative bodies of India, Speaker of Lok Sabha will preside over such conference. That's all what you have to study about the Lok Sabha. These are all the points which are included in your syllabus. I hope you have understood all the points properly and you also have enjoyed learning from me. Please make sure that followed by this video lecture, go through the notes, each and every point properly. Also, don't forget to solve the worksheet related to this topic.